The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fell at home to the Atlanta Falcons and now are in 4th place of the NFC South with a 5-11 record. Similarly to last week, I did not watch the game because I was out with family, but I did keep track online and watch highlights and read some articles after the game ended. So before I get into kind of the points and things that I noticed, if you are new here, Bucs Nation, please subscribe. This is my last weekly review, obviously, because we did not make the playoffs per usual, but I will be back next week with a video of kind of the season review and just strong points that I think is good moving forward and what we need to do to become a better team next year. So make sure you subscribe, like and comment, Buc Nation, what positions or what areas of our team do you feel we need to change and improve on, and let me get into the points that I noticed from this game. So Mike Evans finally broke the receiving record by Mark Carrier. He finished, I think, close to 1,500 yards, over 1,500 yards, I'm pretty sure. He had 2 touchdowns on the game, a pretty solid performance overall. Again, he's probably been our most consistent player since we drafted him, and definitely Jason Light's best draft pick. I think it was his first draft pick too since coming to Tampa, but it's definitely still his best draft pick overall. I also noticed Chris Godwin bounced back with a great game, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns as well, and that just shows us that we don't need Deshaun Jackson next year moving forward at all, and he's really been more of a non-factor for us, especially with Jameis on the field. For some reason, everyone says Jameis has accuracy issues, but he can connect with everybody deep and has no issues with anyone else but Deshaun. I saw the report this week that Deshaun, since last year, has been having issues sleeping in meetings, showing up late, almost fighting coaches and things like that, so you can definitely tell he was kind of like a locker room cancer, so I'm glad we're going to be getting rid of him from there. This performance from Chris Godwin was really good because it showed us that we really don't need Deshaun, and Chris Godwin can be a very solid number 2. Pair that with re-signing Adam Humphries, and we definitely have not top 3 receivers, but we definitely have 3 receivers that we can rely on in all aspects of the game. So definitely looking forward to keeping that intact next year for Jameis. I did read a report that Jameis is going to stay next year, and the team is planning on paying him and keeping him for the next season as a 1-year prove-it season. I'm not too worried about his $21 million because I think he will still be, if he's getting paid $21 million, he's still gonna have the 17th highest salary, so it's not like we're breaking the bank for him. It's just salaries are going up, so $21 million really isn't that much. So he did have a good performance. I saw he threw 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, which didn't seem like it was his fault because it bounced off of, like, he hit Mike Evans in the numbers. I think it hit him right here in the shoulders. So definitely not his fault, and I think it was a great performance from him and shows us there is a lot to work with, and hopefully it's a good performance to show potential future head coaches that they have a quarterback they can work with. He does generally play very well against the Falcons career-wise. He has pretty good numbers against them, so it wasn't really that surprising at all. Our best pickup this past season is Jason Pierre-Paul. I know we didn't sign him as a free agent. We traded for him, but he finished the season with 12.5 sacks. We haven't had a 10-sack season in forever, so hey, that's great. Even though he was on pace for 16, it's not bad. It seems since the second half of the season, since Mike Smith has been fired, that our defensive line has been able to put a lot more pressure, and I think moving forward that'll be a strong suit for us as we definitely beefing up that D-line, since Noah Spence probably won't be back and we need to get a couple more players there. But definitely big shout out to Jason Pierre-Paul. This year you could tell his motor was running and he did not give up at any point during this season. He definitely played very hard and applied a lot of pressure, and it looked like it rubbed off on the other players on the D-line. From this game, it seemed like the defense did very well in the first half. At one point we were up 17-0, and then they completely crumbled, looking like the old Mike Smith defenses, leaving players wide open down the field, leaving them open for touchdowns, all of that, and let Atlanta really crawl back. I think they ended up scoring 31 unanswered points at some point. But it shows that our defense is the area of focus moving forward. I think our offense is fine. It's pretty set. All we need is to improve the O-line and maybe get a running back that has a little bit of speed and elusiveness. But I think the defense overall, we need to work on the secondary. I don't think Brent Grimes will be back. Our safeties are okay, but we need to work on the corners and just the defensive scheme overall, because similarly to the last few seasons, that has been our weakest point on the team. It didn't look like a great performance in the second half. We generally played better defense at home, but for this game we didn't, so it's definitely an area of improvement moving forward. The last thing I want to highlight is Dirk Cutter being gone. Of course, we all know he's going to be gone, but his decision to go for 2 when we got it to 26 points, we were down 26-31. He decided to go for 2. Of course, we didn't get it, and that put us behind again, chasing points. We had to go for 2 again, and we didn't. That's why we ended with 32. Had we just kicked an extra point the first time and made it 27 and then scored, made another extra point, we would have been up 34-31, and Atlanta would have been driving down to tie the game and maybe give us a chance to go into overtime and maybe win it. So for someone who's an offensive guru, it seems like Dirk Cutter has the worst play calls when it comes to 2-point conversions. We never consistently hit him for some reason. I don't know, it's not good with him. And then the timing of them are always bad. Like the first one we went for, it was 8 minutes left in the game, and then we went for 2, even though we were probably going to get the ball back. I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. And I know I was probably maybe in that situation kind of smart, because then we would have just needed a field goal. But as you can see, our offense was playing really well. Jameis was playing well, and we were able to move the ball down. It just didn't make sense in that situation. So his decision making during the games, like his game day decision making or game time decision making, has been horrible since he's been there. His misuse of timeouts, consistently misusing timeouts, consistent bad decision making on the field, it just not overall good, and I think that's going to weigh in. I don't think he's going to last a week or anything. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired in the next few days. I don't know who's going to replace him. There's rumors that Mike McCarthy would. I'm not really a big fan. He had Aaron Rodgers, who was one of the greatest, and hasn't been able to consistently get deep in the playoffs with him at all. So I don't really think that's a good choice for us, but we'll see what the Glazers do. I'm sure they're definitely going to meet with Jason Light. I think Jason Light stays because this is only his first hire, and I'm sure he'll have an opportunity to get a second hire. But overall, disappointing season after starting 2-0 and having all that hype. We lost a lot of winnable games, and it just wasn't a great season overall. And I think a lot of it has to do with coaching. We haven't seen players get better under coaching. It seems all our players have plateaued. I don't know. I've been saying Dirk is going to be gone for a while, but this is my entire analysis. It's a lot shorter this week because I didn't see the game. Please, Buck Nation, subscribe. If you're any Falcons fans, you want some, more analysis on an NFC South rival in the Bucs, please subscribe. Bucs Nation in the comments, let me know what things you want me to highlight next week when I do my season review, and what things you want me to do in the off season. I'm not sure what kind of direction I'm heading in the off season, since there is no football, but I definitely want to stay in the Bucs realm. Once again, season over, 5-11, disappointing, but if we can get a good coach out of it and a good draft pick and a great impact player in the draft from it, I wouldn't be too upset. So hopefully let's aim for 2019 to worst scenario be a wild card team, and definitely try to get that division title. So thank you very much to everyone who has tuned into my videos now and throughout the whole season, and I will continue to do Bucs videos. Thank you very much, and as always, go Bucs, Buck Nation. Let's get in there and let's support the team and get a better season next year. I am out.
Our offense tough, our defense rough. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucs, go Bucs.